the children are going to, I don't know, they're going to school in like a prison in some sort of way. Like, breaking news just in, the federal government has raised an alarm about the potential threat of terrorist attacks in 14 states, including the federal capital, of course, Abuja. Now, the federal government recently inaugurated a crazy idea to me, which makes me really second guess the fact that we're living in a country that is not under a state of emergency. What was recently inaugurated in Nigeria is the Safe Schools in Nigeria scheme. Now, it's signaling a move to enhance security in vulnerable states, mostly in the northern states. Hajima Halima, the national coordinator, she's been involved in setting up this scheme, and she says basically that it's going to provide solutions. The Nigerian Civil Defense Corps decided that they're going to play detective and actually let us know which specific states, though, are involved in this scheme. It's Adamawa, Bauchi, Borno, Benue, Yobe, Katsina, FCT, Kebbi, Sokoto, Plateau, Zamfara, and, well, 3 other states that we don't know. Apparently, these 3 other states, they are being kept a mystery and they are on high alert. Now, the big question is the government still doing enough to tackle this escalating insecurity? And it's been a major concern on the minds of many Nigerians. The last administration under the current party, they've been trying to fight insecurity. Back in 2015, I think for a lot of us who remember, the reason why President Buhari was really able to come into power was because a lot of his promises stood on the fact that he was going to fight and tackle insecurity. Before President Buhari, when Jonathan was in power, Boko Haram was absolutely rampant and there were a lot of issues happening in the north. And I say rampant, not that it was more than what it is now. I think because it was new, it felt like it was more. But right now, I would say the attacks are equivalent. In fact, now it's widespread and it's in just random places. Fast forward 9 years and we still find ourselves grappling with this situation. Yesterday, I reported that over 200 children were kidnapped. So let me tell you a little bit about this Safe Schools. It's supposed to be a beacon of hope, right? Hopefully. Well, the way it's gonna work is the government is going to embark on a construction, and the construction is going to be perimeter fences around schools. So essentially, they're trying to build a fortress around the schools as a first layer of defense against the uncertainties that loom. And it's really sad to see that the children are going to, I don't know, they're going to school in like a prison in some sort of way. Like, I just think about when I went to school, and I just can't imagine if like, well, actually I can imagine because I went to school in Israel and we had bomb shelters in our schools, so never mind. But what I'm just saying is that I can't imagine like when I went to school, at least in Nigeria, like you could play, you could do whatever, it was easy. So I just can't imagine what it would feel like going to school in these times. And even more so, I really say this all the time, that if they don't put a clamp on this, and I appreciate the fact that they're trying to find incentives and they're trying to find solutions rather to protect the kids, parents are going to stop asking their kids to go to school. So this thing is tied directly to the education and literacy rates. If kids do not feel like it's safe for them to go to school, even they are not going to want to go to school. They're going to tell their parents, "Mommy, I don't want to go to school anymore because my school is being targeted." A lot of people had a lot to say on social media about this and suggestions on ways we could possibly protect our kids. And I'm going to share a few of those ideas. I found some of them quite interesting. Hamlad said this: train snipers who will be situated in vantage points and able to quickly deploy to other points depending on the direction of the approach of the bandits. Alternatively, create a system to monitor movement in ungoverned spaces and draft an intercept protocol. I think what they're basically trying to say is basically just make sure that there are gunmen on ground and these gunmen can see far ahead and they'll be able to provide, some sort of solution. I don't really know about that. Well, I do know about that. I think that's not a smart idea. We're not living in a war zone, so why the heck would there be gunmen on a school campus? At the end of the day, all these things are not addressing the root cause. And the root cause is the fact that somehow, insecurity has penetrated our country. And I don't think that, the Nigerian security agents have done enough work to find a way to weed it out. When these bandits are captured, what happens to them? What are the consequences for their capture? A lot of times, people will continue to do certain things when they don't feel like there are strong consequences. I remember, was it last year or 2 years ago, where some bandits were captured and then they were forgiven. They were given some sort of amnesty. They were given clemency based on the fact that, They said sorry. I'm smiling and laughing because I just think it's ridiculous. At this point, like, it just seems so silly. It feels like we're just going round and round in circles. You know, we need to deal with the offenders. We need to find a way to face the complex and deeply rooted issues. We need to tighten up our borders. We need to make sure that our education system is working. We need to weed out poverty in all parts of Nigeria so that people are not lured into these banditry, because a lot of them do it for money. All about money at the end of the day. Someone else online said this is a shame, telling your citizens you should protect that they are not safe. So sad and shameful. If they had been killing the kidnappers that they arrested and the bandits, or send them to some kind of jail, these things would change. They are not ready. Exactly. Consequences are not strong enough when they are captured. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know who you think is funding these terrorists and what you think can be done to make sure that we're protecting our children. I mean, we say this all the time, but they really are the future of tomorrow. Like, this is their foundation. We gotta fix it. We gotta get it right. Still speaking on students, a student was murdered in cold blood and it was done on camera. Whew. I mean, click on the next video to find out.